The harsh winds of Epsilon 9 swept across the barren metallic landscape, carrying dust and tiny fragments of forgotten machinery. J. Park adjusted his salvage suit, its worn fabric protecting him from the planet's toxic atmosphere. His eyes, sharp and trained from years of scavenging, scanned the endless field of mechanical wreckage. Most salvage workers avoided Epsilon 9. The planet was a graveyard of broken dreams and abandoned technology, a place where only the most desperate or skilled could survive. Jay belonged to the second category. His reputation among independent salvage crews was legendary. He could find value where others saw only junk. A strange glimmer caught his attention. Not the usual metallic reflection, but something different, something that moved, something alive. Approaching carefully, Jade realized he was looking at a creature unlike anything he had ever encountered. The being was massive, covered in a shimmering exoskeleton that seemed to change colors like a living mirror. Multiple wound sites marked its body, deep gashes that suggested a brutal battle. The creature was a female, Jay somehow knew. Her breathing was labored, each breath a struggle against immense pain. Around her body, fragments of advanced technology were scattered, pieces of what appeared to be communication devices and defensive systems. Jai knew he had two choices. He could walk away and continue his salvage mission, or he could help this mysterious being. Walking away meant certain death for her. Helping her meant potential danger for himself. His hand moved instinctively to the medical kit attached to his suit. Years of survival had taught him that unexpected decisions often determined life or death in the harsh universe of independent salvage workers. The alien's eyes opened. They were not like human eyes. They were complex structures, resembling intricate geometric patterns that shifted and changed. Those eyes locked onto Jai, filled with a mixture of pain, intelligence, and something else. Desperation. "Who are you?" The alien attempted to communicate, her voice a series of complex vibrations that somehow translated in Jai's specialized communication device. "Ja Park, human salvage worker," he responded, keeping his distance but preparing his medical equipment. The alien's response was unexpected. "I am Hannah Kim, Queen of the Crystalline Hive. My civilization is under attack." Jay had heard rumors about the Crystalline Hive, an advanced alien civilization known for their complex technological systems and mysterious social structures. But rumors were just stories, and right now, a living, wounded queen was before him. The sounds of distant mechanical movements echoed across the planet's surface. Something was hunting Hannah. Something mechanical and relentless. "They will find me," Hannah whispered, her complex body showing signs of extreme fatigue. "My people are almost gone." Jay made his decision in seconds. He activated his emergency medical protocols and began treating her wounds. The medical nanobots in his kit started working, analyzing her unique biological structure and adapting their healing protocols. The mechanical sounds grew closer. Whatever was hunting Hannah was approaching fast. "We need to move," Jay said, his voice calm and calculated. "Can you walk?" Hannah's response was a mixture of a groan and what might have been a laugh. "No, but I can guide our escape if you can carry me." As the first mechanical hunter units appeared on the horizon, sleek, deadly machines designed for precise extermination, Jay lifted Hannah's massive body. Her weight was significant, but his salvage suit's enhanced exoskeleton made the task possible. The hunt had begun, and neither Jade nor Hannah knew what would happen next. The planet of Epsilon 9 continued its silent, windswept existence, indifferent to the extraordinary escape that was about to unfold. The makeshift shelter was little more than a collection of salvaged metal panels and worn fabric, but it provided protection from Epsilon 9's harsh environment. Jai worked carefully, his hands moving with practiced efficiency as he applied advanced medical patches to Hannah's wounds. The alien queen watched him, her geometric eyes tracking every movement. "Your medical technology is primitive," Hannah observed, her voice a series of complex vibrations that translated through Jay's communication device, yet surprisingly effective. Jay didn't respond immediately. He was concentrating, understanding that one wrong move could mean death for both of them. The mechanical hunters were still out there, their distant scanning signals occasionally breaking through the planet's electromagnetic interference. Water was their most critical resource. Jay had a limited supply in his salvage suit's emergency reserves. He divided it carefully, giving Hana slightly more than himself. Survival wasn't about being fair, but about strategic thinking. "Tell me about the attack," Jay said, breaking the tense silence. His fingers continued working, adjusting the medical nanobots that crawled across Hana's complex biological structure. Hana's response was measured. The crystalline hive had been betrayed by a confederation of rival alien races. What began as a diplomatic dispute quickly escalated into a full-scale extermination attempt. Her people, once numbering in millions, were now reduced to a handful of survivors scattered across different star systems. "We were not prepared for total war," she explained. Her body shifted, revealing intricate biological mechanisms that seemed to pulse with a strange inner light. "Our civilization valued communication over conflict." Jay understood something about being unprepared. His own history as a salvage worker had taught him that survival often meant adapting faster than your enemies. The communication device began to malfunction, its translation becoming choppy. Jay realized they would need to repair it if they wanted to continue understanding each other. He pulled out a collection of salvaged electronic components, his hands moving with the precision of someone who could create something from almost nothing. Hana watched him. For an alien queen, she showed remarkable patience. Most leaders she knew would have demanded immediate action or complete submission. Jay was different. Methodical, calm, focused on immediate survival. Outside, the mechanical sounds grew closer. The hunters were scanning, searching, calculating their approach. Jai knew they had limited time. He worked faster, connecting tiny circuits, rebuilding the translation device with whatever resources he had. "Your people," Hana asked, "they will not come looking for you." Jai laughed, a short, sharp sound that surprised them both. "Independent salvage workers don't have rescue teams. We survive or we die alone." The device sparked to life. The translation became clearer, Hana's complex language transforming into understandable words. She explained more about the attack, how the rival races had used advanced quantum weapons that could destroy entire planetary systems in moments. "We were peaceful," she repeated. "Too peaceful, perhaps." Jay understood that peace could be a weakness in a universe of constant conflict. His own experiences had taught him that survival required constant adaptation. As night fell on Epsilon 9, the temperature dropped dramatically. Jai activated his suit's thermal reserves, creating a small bubble of warmth around them. Hana's body seemed to have its own internal temperature regulation, a complex biological system far more advanced than human technology. The mechanical hunters continued their search outside, scanning, calculating, hunting. But for now, Jay and Hana were safe. Connected by survival, bound by an unexpected alliance, they waited. The night of Epsilon 9 stretched around them, silent and cold, holding its own secrets. The abandoned communication tower stood like a rusted skeleton against Epsilon 9's desolate landscape. Jai worked carefully, his hands moving across complex circuits and damaged communication systems. Hana watched, her geometric eyes analyzing every movement. "Human technology is strange," she observed. "You solve problems with creativity, not just pure technical skill." Jay didn't respond immediately. His focus was complete, understanding that their survival depended on reestablishing communication with Hana's remaining forces. Each wire he connected, each circuit he repaired, brought them closer to potential rescue. The mechanical hunters were still searching. Their scanning signals occasionally broke through the planet's electromagnetic interference, creating brief moments of tension. Jai had learned to read these signals, understanding their pattern and potential threat level. Hannah explained more about her civilization's communication network. The crystalline hive used quantum entanglement for long-distance communication, a technology far more advanced than human systems. But advanced technology meant nothing if the basic infrastructure was destroyed. "We need a simple solution," Jay muttered, more to himself than to Hannah. He pulled out a collection of salvaged electronic components. To an untrained eye, it looked like random pieces of metal and circuit boards. To Jai, it was a potential lifeline. His hands moved with the precision of someone who could create something from almost nothing. The communication device began to take shape. It wasn't elegant, but it was functional. Jay understood that survival wasn't about perfection. It was about making things work. Hannah watched his process with growing respect. Her people were used to complex, mathematically perfect solutions. Jay's approach was different. Messy, unpredictable, but surprisingly effective. "Your methods are unorthodox," she said, "but they might actually work." Outside, the mechanical hunters continued their systematic search. Their scanning patterns were precise, calculated, leaving no room for error. But Jay had learned to work around precise systems. Unpredictability was his greatest weapon. He explained his plan. They would create a communication signal that mimicked the background radiation of the planet. Most scanning systems would ignore it, treating it as environmental noise. It was a human trick, using simplicity to overcome complexity. Hannah's geometric eyes shifted, analyzing the potential success rate. Her biological systems calculated probabilities faster than any human computer. But even she was impressed by the unexpected strategy. As Jay worked, Hannah shared more about the attack on her civilization. The rival races had used weapons that could destroy entire planetary systems in moments. Their goal wasn't just victory, it was complete extinction. "We were peaceful," she repeated. But this time, there was something different in her voice. Not just sadness, but a growing determination. The communication device sparked to life. The signal was weak but present, a tiny beacon of hope in the vast emptiness of Epsilon 9. Jay allowed himself a small smile, one step closer to survival. Hannah's body began to heal. The medical nanobots continued their work, repairing complex biological systems that humans could barely understand. Her strength was returning, slowly but surely. Night was falling. The temperature dropped rapidly, but Jay's thermal systems kept them protected. Outside, the mechanical hunters continued their relentless search. But something had changed. They were no longer just survivors. They were becoming something more. A team. An unexpected alliance formed in the harshest of environments. Jay finished connecting the final circuit. The communication device hummed softly, sending out its carefully disguised signal. They had taken their first step towards potential rescue. The planet of Epsilon 9 remained silent, indifferent to the small victory taking place within its metallic landscape. The first signs of Hannah's remaining forces appeared like ghosts against Epsilon 9's metallic horizon. 3 sleek ships, their designs unlike anything Jay had ever seen, dropped from the upper atmosphere with surgical precision. Their arrival was silent, almost invisible to standard tracking systems. Jay watched through a makeshift observation point constructed from salvaged panels. His hand rested near his emergency weapon, a habit born from years of surviving in dangerous territories. Hannah stood beside him, her complex biological systems now mostly healed. "They are skeptical," Hannah translated through their repaired communication device. "My surviving commanders do not trust humans." The ships landed with minimal disruption, their landing mechanisms absorbing impact like liquid metal. 3 figures emerged, each wearing advanced environmental suits that seemed to blend with their surroundings. The lead commander, a tall figure with similar geometric eye structures to Hannah, approached cautiously. Communication was tense, filled with complex vibrational language that even the advanced translation device struggled to interpret completely. Jay understood enough. They saw him as a potential liability. A random human salvage worker who happened to save their queen seemed too convenient. Suspicion radiated from their body language. "I have a plan," Jay said quietly to Hana. His voice carried a calm certainty that seemed to catch the alien commanders off guard. Using the scattered mechanical components around their shelter, Jay began constructing a tactical projection system. It was crude, assembled from salvage, but functional. When activated, it displayed the mechanical hunter's probable approach vectors with stunning accuracy. The alien commanders stopped their suspicious murmuring. Their geometric eyes focused on Jay's improvised strategic display. Hana translated their reaction. "They are impressed." Jay's plan was simple yet brilliant. By understanding the mechanical hunter's scanning patterns, he could predict their movement. The alien technology could then create targeted electromagnetic disruptions that would confuse and potentially disable the hunting units. "Humans are good at unexpected solutions," Jay explained. "We don't follow standard tactical protocols." The next few hours were a blur of preparation. Alien technology merged with human improvisation. Quantum communication systems were recalibrated using Jay's unconventional techniques. The surviving crystalline hive members watched in a mixture of confusion and growing respect. As the mechanical hunters approached, their precise scanning signals cutting through Epsilon 9's atmosphere, something changed. What should have been a moment of certain destruction became an opportunity. The first wave of mechanical hunters appeared. Sleek, deadly machines designed for precise extermination. Their movements were calculated, their targeting systems considered perfect. But they didn't account for Jay's unpredictability. Electromagnetic pulses erupted from strategic points. Alien quantum disruptors, modified by Jay's human ingenuity, created chaos in the hunter's systems. Machines that were supposed to be invincible began to malfunction. Hana's remaining forces launched a coordinated attack. Their ships moved with a grace that defied traditional combat physics. Jay's tactical projections guided them, providing insights that their standard systems would never have calculated. The battle was short, brutal, decisive. When silence returned to Epsilon 9's landscape, only scattered mechanical wreckage remained. The hunters, once considered an unstoppable force, were destroyed. Hana turned to Jai, her geometric eyes showing something new. Respect. Understanding. Something close to friendship. "You saved us," she said simply. Jai just smiled. Another day of survival in the vast, unpredictable universe. The planet of Epsilon 9 continued its silent existence, indifferent to the extraordinary battle that had just concluded on its surface. The diplomatic chamber aboard the crystalline hive's primary vessel was unlike anything Jay had ever seen. Surfaces shifted like living metal, reflecting light in impossible geometric patterns. Representatives from the surviving crystalline hive gathered, their geometric eyes focused on the human salvage worker who had become their unexpected savior. Hana stood at the center, her recovered form radiating authority. Jay stood slightly behind her, feeling both out of place and strangely confident. His salvage suit, now patched and modified with alien technology, marked him as something more than a simple human worker. "We propose a formal alliance," Hana announced, her voice translated through their communication device. The chamber fell silent. The senior commanders discussed in their complex vibrational language. Their debate was intense but controlled. Jay could see the calculation in their movements, the careful consideration of every potential outcome. One of the senior commanders approached Jay directly. His question was simple but loaded with meaning. "Why did you save our queen?" Jay's response was straightforward. "Survival sometimes means helping others, even when there's no immediate benefit to yourself." The chamber buzzed with translation. The concept seemed both simple and revolutionary to the crystalline hive. Humans were not just another species. They were something different, unpredictable, capable of acts beyond pure strategic calculation. Official documentation was prepared, not through digital systems, but through a complex biological process where information was literally woven into living membrane documents. Jai watched in fascination as contract details emerged like living text. His status was unique, not a diplomat, not a warrior, but something in between, an honorary member of the crystalline hive, with special permissions that no human had ever received before. The first practical demonstration of their alliance came quickly. Star charts were shared, communication protocols established. The crystalline hive's quantum communication technology would be partially shared with human scientific communities, a gesture unprecedented in galactic diplomatic history. Jay understood the significance. This was more than a personal rescue. This was a potential turning point for human-alien relations. As the ceremony concluded, Hannah approached Jai privately. "Your people will change the universe," she said, "not through force, but through unexpected solutions." Outside the diplomatic chamber, mechanical repair units continued reconstructing damaged ships. The recent battle had left scars, but also opened new possibilities. Representatives from other alien civilizations would soon hear about the human who saved an alien queen on a forgotten planet. Diplomatic channels would buzz with curiosity. Intelligence networks would analyze every detail of the encounter. Jay's life would never be the same. From a simple salvage worker, he had become something more, a bridge between civilizations, an unexpected hero. The crystalline hive's primary vessel moved silently through space, carrying its new alliance. Epsilon 9 remained behind, a forgotten planet that had witnessed an extraordinary moment of interstellar history. Hannah looked at Ja, her geometric eyes reflecting complex emotions. Respect, curiosity, the beginning of something entirely new. The universe continued its vast, mysterious expansion, indifferent to the small but significant moment of connection that had just occurred. Would you like me to elaborate on any part of this final section?